Here we go!
The video game industry is a global cultural phenomenon, generating billions of dollars and connecting players across the world. From casual mobile gamers to professional esports athletes, gaming has become an integral part of modern life. But it wasn't always this way. In the early 1980s, the gaming industry in America was on the verge of collapse, struggling to recover from a catastrophic market crash. So, how did it rise from the ashes to become the thriving powerhouse we know today? Much of the credit goes to Japan, a country that introduced innovative designs, fresh ideas, and philosophies that reshaped the world of gaming forever. In this video, we'll explore how Japanese creativity and craftsmanship played a pivotal role in rebuilding and redefining the American gaming landscape. The story begins in the early 1980s, an era when Atari reigned supreme. The company had revolutionized the industry with hits like Pong, Asteroids, and the Atari 2600 console, becoming a household name in gaming. However, this success was short lived. By 1983, the market was oversaturated with low quality games, with the infamous ET or the extraterrestrial standing out as a key example of poor design and rushed production. Retailers struggled to sell games, leading to massive losses and a general loss of faith in this industry. This crash, known as the video game crash of 1983, left the American market in shambles. Enter Nintendo, a Japanese company with a history of playing cards and toys, but one that had recently made waves in arcades with titles like Donkey Kong. In 1985, Nintendo introduced the NES, or Nintendo Entertainment System, to North America. This was no ordinary console. It was marketed with precision, including a focus on quality control and memorable titles like Super Mario Bros. And The Legends of Zelda. By combining innovation with a commitment to consumer trust, the NES didn't just sell, it revived a dying industry. It redefined gaming as a reliable, family friendly, and long lasting form of entertainment, setting the stage for future generations. The NES may have revived the industry, but it was just the beginning of Japan's hardware revolution. Following its success, other groundbreaking consoles from Japan solidified the foundation of modern gaming. The Game Boy, introduced by Nintendo in 1989, brought gaming on the go and became a cultural icon in its own right. Meanwhile, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES, pushed graphical and sound capabilities to new heights, setting the stage for more complex and immersive games. Around the same time, however, Sega entered the scene with the Genesis, directly competing with Nintendo in what became known as the console wars. This rivalry fueled rapid innovation and heightened public interest in gaming. Each system brought unique features to the table, from the Genesis's hyper-fast processing power to the SNES's robust library of story-driven games like Final Fantasy IV or The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. These pioneer consoles didn't just sell hardware. They created a lasting culture around gaming, showing American players that video games weren't a passing trend, but a growing industry. While the NES and other consoles reignited interest in gaming, it was Japan's unique approach that game design that truly revolutionized the industry. Early American games that often emphasized quick mechanics, arcade high scores, and immediate gratifications, Japanese developers, however, introduced a new dimension to gaming: storytelling, exploration, and creativity. Titles like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and The Legend of Zelda demonstrated how games could offer immersive narratives and expansive, detailed worlds for players to explore. This focus on the storytelling resonated deeply with players and set a new benchmark for what games could achieve. The influence of these innovations rippled across the Pacific, inspiring American developers to think beyond simple arcade style games. Iconic franchises like The Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, and even Halo owe much of their narrative depth and design philosophy to the groundwork laid by Japanese RPGs and adventure titles. Japanese innovation taught the world that video games could be more than entertainment, they could be art. In the 1980s, arcades were cultural hotspots, and Japanese companies dominated this space. Games like Pac Man, Donkey Kong, Space Invaders, and Street Fighter weren't just popular, they were global sensations that defined an era. Pac Man became a cultural icon, spawning merchandise, cartoon, and even a hit single. Meanwhile, games like Street Fighter 2 revolutionized multiplayer competition and paved the way for modern competitive gaming. These Japanese arcade titles brought new levels of skill, challenge, and replayability to gaming. In the United States, they helped shape the foundation of competitive gaming culture, which later evolved into today's esports scene. American developers, inspired by these successes, created their own iconic arcade style franchises, including Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam. Japanese arcade dominance didn't just define a generation, it set the stage for multiplayer and skill based gaming that remains central to the industry today. As the industry matured, collaboration between Japanese and American developers became increasingly common. Japanese creators like Hideo Kojima, renowned for his innovative storytelling, worked with Western teams to produce groundbreaking titles like Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding. These projects combine Japanese design philosophy with Western cinematic techniques, creating games that push the boundaries of the medium. On the flip side, however, Japanese developers found inspiration in Western innovations. Games like Dark Souls, known for their challenging gameplay and atmospheric storytelling, influenced countless American titles, including Hollow Knight and Elden Ring. This cross-cultural exchange enriched the gaming landscape, blending the best of both worlds to produce experiences that resonate universally. Japan's influence on the design of gaming consoles can still be seen today. While Sony and Nintendo are the two major Japanese companies, their impact on American consoles is just as significant. For example, Nintendo's emphasis on user friendly, creative designs, such as the Switch's hybrid model, has pushed other companies like Microsoft to think differently about portability and flexibility in gaming hardware. Similarly, Japan's commitment to innovation in gaming controllers, like Sony's DualShock series, has influenced ergonomic and functional design in American consoles as well. These features have led American companies to adopt and refine their designs for better player experiences. Through these design philosophies, Japanese companies have shaped American console manufacturers' approach, promoting the idea of accessibility, creativity, and unique gameplay experiences that appeal to a wider audience. Today, the lines between Japanese and American gaming are blurrier than ever. Developers from both nations continuously inspire one another, creating games that transcend cultural boundaries. Japanese RPGs have left an indelible mark on American open world games, while Western cinematic storytelling has been embraced by Japanese studios. Titles like The Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Last of Us demonstrate how these influences converge to produce unforgettable gaming experiences. The American gaming industry owes much of its success to the vision, creativity, and resilience of Japan. Together, These two powerhouses have redefined what gaming can be, a global medium of connection, creativity, and cultural. As we look to the future, the partnership between Japan and America will undoubtedly continue to shape the industry, inspiring gamers and developers for generations to come.